Legally, we're allowed to claim entire zip codes served as long as one single house has access. You missed a spot? Great. Well, our competitors' much more talented nephews also draw
Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to ATW, which is all things wisdom. And in today's video, we are reacting to one of my favorite channels, which is Honest Ads. And today's video is if internet service providers were honest.
Hi, I'm Roger. Uh-oh, it looks like you might need a new internet service provider. I want to talk to you about Portland.
Right off the bat.
Where were we? Oh, right.
Shit.
Here's a poster board with a bunch of squiggles arranged in the general shape of where some of you live. The parts my nephew colored with a marker indicate areas with access to Hortlink's proprietary data snakes. At least that's what we claim, because nobody has ever actually checked to see if my nephew is telling the truth, even if they did. Legally, we're allowed to claim entire zip codes served as long as one single house has access. You missed a spot? Great. Well, our competitors' much more talented nephews also draw fun maps of their own. And every year, we come together to present their work to negotiators and prove people living in the middle of these pixelated smallpox outbreaks have several choices of provider. In reality,
Oh dear God. This is how internet is, unfortunately for me, in my house. Fun fact, I usually have to download videos prior, actually, in order for them not to buffer on me while I'm reacting. So, yeah. Okay. Enough said about that. Let's continue.
the vast majority of the country is basically stuck choosing between a single monopolistic supplier or drawing their own deviant fan art in the dirt with a stick. Wow, that's a lot of coverage. And if you are so lucky to live within the borders of one of our feudal cyber realms, you can rest easy in the knowledge that companies like Hortlink are the reason America now has the 31st best download and the 42nd best upload speeds in the world. Yeah, we may be getting edged out by powerhouse countries like Uruguay and Belarus, but we've got them all beat in price. As in, we're several times more expensive. Suck on that, Estonia. Never heard of those countries? Feel free to look them up. But you should know Hortlink takes about a month to load a Wikipedia page, so maybe read a book instead, loser.
If I want to upload a new video actually in my house, in the internet, using my own internet, actually, I usually leave it across the night. Oh dear God.
Not again. Did that last part make you feel a little dumb? Would it help you to know that while statistically kids from lower income families have always been a bit behind their richer peers in school, our Machiavellian business model has forced that gap wider than ever. Thanks to months of forced remote learning that is literally impossible without our product, we may have ruined the lives and future earnings of millions. And before your city gets clever and tries to pass some mandate ensuring this truly vital service is accessible at a price all families can afford, be warned, we will absolutely sue. Hell, we'll choke an orphan in the street if it means we can charge his corpse $300 a month for 4 megabit download.
Jesus Christ.
But hey.
4 megabit. I think mine actually is like, okay, they don't charge me for what I would call bandwidth. Like, okay, some will give you a package, like maybe say 20 gigabytes per month for something around $25 to $35 in American money in our currency, it's actually $350. And then some actually will give you extra bonus, maybe of another 20 gigabytes. But the thing that sucks about that is that actually they charge you download speed as well as upload speed, and therefore it consumes faster than you should. I was lucky enough actually to get guys that do not charge me, a package of how many gigabytes. They charge me, I think, maybe on speed. And I think my link actually is like 2 megabytes per second, but I also share that with a couple of people. So there are some days actually when I cannot even stream properly. And the thing that sucks actually is that I would not make it actually in any form of gaming. Yeah, that wouldn't work at all. So anyway, let's continue.
Maybe we'll feel charitable one day and run a Hortlink line to a poor's address. It's really no sweat off my back. I can make money in other ways. Maybe I'll force them to lease my special magic router box for a monthly fee. Maybe I'll exclusively service their area with cut-rate freelance contractor repairmen who are so slow and useless, they're essentially a living, breathing metaphor for our product. Maybe we'll get especially devious and institute data caps so the servers don't get overloaded, even though that's essentially an impossible scenario. Or maybe we'll just sell your data without your consent. Trust me,
yeah,
it's
God.
much, much hotter that way. Speaking of things that are hot, nothing gets my fibers cooking like watching out-of-touch lawmakers who spend their evenings searching for casserole recipes on their calculators try to understand net neutrality and how it works. We haven't done anything too crazy yet, but I wake up pretty much every night in a soaked bed after dreaming up new ways I could transform the internet into a convoluted nightmare morass of paywalls and throttled speeds. I've been Roger, by the way. There you are, you little orphan. I've got a great deal for you.
Have you heard of the internet?
Where do I begin? At least we have internet. Yeah, I said actually I would provide the names of, I think, maybe some of the internet service providers that we have in the country. They are regulated by a government agency or parastatal, actually, that is called ESCOM. I'll leave the abbreviation actually there, which also submits under the Ministry of ICT, which is a government institution, of course. And then I think there's SPTC, which is a government parastatal, and then there's MTN, which is a private company, of course. I think that one actually dominates mobile technology for the most of Africa, I think. And then there is, of course, eSwatini Mobile. MTN actually is quite reliable but expensive. They do provide actually internet services, but they are very expensive. And then there's eSwatini Mobile, which is slightly cheap but highly undependable. Actually, you cannot work with it. SPTC almost similar. You almost have to change modems every other week, especially if there's any form of thunderstorm. With the one that I'm using actually right now, I'm using a company called Touch IT. And they're quite okay compared to the others. Like I said before, they don't charge me actually on data caps. They charge me on speed, internet speed. And I pay a steady amount almost every month. And yeah, it's quite okay. I just have to, I don't know. There are some days when it's not going to be available, but yeah, they usually try to communicate with me to tell me that, okay, we are fixing whatsoever uplink somewhere and we're going to be up and running maybe in the next 4 hours or something like that. But yes, yeah, that was Roger, and that was my reaction of if internet service providers were honest. I hope you liked it. I'll see you on the next one.